What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, I am back, man. This old guy right here doesn't talk about it. I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, just a quick reminder, man. This is a fitness channel with a twist, and what I mean by that is I usually start off talking about fitness, nutrition, or overall health and end in a story. Today, the story is going to take us to the county jail, medium south, the Riot that broke off between us homies and the Paisas. Okay, so just be patient, stay tuned, because I do have to speak a little bit about fitness and nutrition. But before I go and do that, I got to give a shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you guys very much for what you do for me. And another quick little shout out will go to everybody that's been supporting my channel, even the Trollos, baby. You guys already know what time it is, man. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers, we'll start doing lives, and with lives, woo-wee, the YouTube yada will become activo. Anyways, people, let's talk a little bit about dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is part of the plant that your body can't digest, okay? It's found in foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. It's important, for good health, because it helps to keep you feeling full and satisfied after eating, people, and it can also help to regulate your blood sugar levels. This is the importance of dietary fiber, people. If you eat enough dietary fiber, you will be less likely to overeat, and you'll be more likely to feel satisfied after eating. So, important, when you go eat, when you go to the Golden Corral, like the place that I go to, oh man, I love that place, Golden Corral. You cannot go wrong with that, man. I should get paid for sponsoring them. But I eat a total of 3 huge salads before I eat. And when I go eat, I'll eat the main courses over there, the steak and stuff like that. Stuff that's actually good for you. So very important, man, to start incorporating fibers into your life. You know what I mean? It'll help you with overall weight loss, man. Okay, so and the reason why dietary fiber works good, man, is because it helps to slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, which can help to keep your blood sugar levels stable. Now, if you're ready to make a change for the better, hey, you already know what time it is. DM me at highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com, and I'll put you on track to improving your overall health, people. Guaranteed. The proof is in the pudding, people. Come on now. What more do you want? You feel me? Let's get with the program, baby. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. At this 54-year-old, well, let's just say I'm 55 now, because I'm a lot closer to 55 than I am 54. If I'm in this shape, you could be in that shape. There's no excuse why you shouldn't be in shape. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't worry about what the next man thinks of what you're doing. This is your life to create. This is your destiny. You know what I mean? Be the architect of your destiny. Because if you don't, you're gonna be that person working for someone else, building their dream. So build your dream, people. That's what I've done. Right here with my new life, this is the best life. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna go to the county jail, early 90s, rocking and rolling, baby. This is when there was a memo put out that we can no longer that the Paisas were hands off. Let's just put it that way, okay? So in the meantime, the Paisas grew strong, as they should. You know what I mean? That's our gente. The little guys that went around there, just believe there's some big ass Paisas too, man. It's big boys. But anyways, people, I'm gonna fast forward this because today's a very busy day, people. So from the county jail, living a life in the county jail is off the hook. That's usually rocking and rolling, regardless of what memos go around, I should say. And the reason is because it's constantly being overturned right there. That's the main, flow where people come in, the intake. So this person may run it a certain way, and the next person in line that's running it, well, they believe they're running it. You know what I mean? They're just actually taking on a very important responsibility that I would never want that headache of. So anyways, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So anyways, let's fast forward this, man. We moved down to Wayside, Medium South. Now, I've said in other videos, Wayside, Medium South, there was a mixture of people, and there was dorms. It was dorm living. It's like we each had our own personal yard and stuff. But in order to go to Chow, the very furthest dorms, which we called south of the border, that's where the Paisas lived. They would have to pass through everybody's yard in order to get to the chow hall. The only ones that didn't have to pass through anybody's yard were the people that were right next to the chow hall. Okay. Now anything after that, there was like 4 sections. So with that, the only persons that passed through our yard and that had access to our dorms were the Paisas. Well, anyways, long story short on this, stuff started coming up missing, right? So we figured there was a thief in the house. So basically what we did, we set up a person, a sleeper, you know what I mean, to stay behind, because it was mandatory for everybody to shake them sheets, roll them mats, and get their asses to the chow hall. And for the reasons everybody knows, because you just never know with the county jail, that place will erupt in a blink of an eye. And if you're caught slipping, it's all bad. And if you're caught dipping, trying to avoid what's going on, that'd be even worse for you. You might as well participate in the reindeer games, baby. Trust and believe, because you don't want to carry a jacket like that going through the system. That thing will haunt you everywhere you go, and everywhere and anywhere you land, you will get the blues. The reason is because there will be a mailman notifying your new residency of what you did. So anyways, people, I rambled on, didn't I? That's what I do. It is what it is. If you don't like the rambling, then get to pushing. Like I said in the past, and I'm going to tell you today, it's no shine off my state boots. But in this situation here, ain't no scuff on my Nike Cortez. And trust and believe, back in the day, you were able to wear your own shoes in there. I was one of them individuals that was able and lucky one time to sneak in with my steel toe boots on. How I did it, I don't remember, but I did. Those were a blessing. Trust and believe, they were. But as far as the penitentiary, this fucking fool, what was it, Dirt Bike Mike? Dirt Bike Mike. That fool saying they have steel-toe boots. I don't know where in the fuck he was doing time at. Maybe he was at a fire camp or something like that, running the chainsaw. I don't even know if them guys have steel-toe boots. Because I remember one time when I was, I think it was Lancaster or Calapatria, one of them firemen dudes almost cut off his foot, and they brought him to the central medical center right there, and he was from the level 1 fire camp. He almost chopped off his foot, so I'm assuming that fucking fool, they don't have steel toe boots either. And an individual the other day, I made a comment about that because they were talking about the steel toe boots. I made a comment on Old Boy's channel, not gonna say who it is, you know what I mean, because sometimes he's real quick to respond, you know what I mean. And I understand why he's like that, because he's constantly reading all the comments and the bullshit that people put in there. And, you know, I deal with it day in, day out too, you know what I mean? But I don't have a following like they do. So I could imagine how he may get overwhelmed. And he looked at my comment and said, well, come on, man, they never made... No, my thing to you, Carnal, was they don't make the state boots like they used to. This last term that I did, them motherfuckers looked like they were made out of vinyl. Even their shine wouldn't even hold no more. Not like the old leather boots that they used to issue us back in the day, back in the early 90s and the 80s and stuff like that. Those are the real fucking state boots right there, huh? She put the wing tips on them and everything, sand them down. If you guys know, you know. I stood Bonnaroo, baby, especially when I was doing time up north working on textiles. Woo-wee. Got some stories about that place. But anyways, I rambled on a whole lot. I went from the county jail to motherfucking to the state, huh? Well, anyways, long story short, we set a mole to find out whom the fuck the jailhouse thief was. Because the jailhouse thief, oh my goodness, you do not want to carry that jacket there. That's almost as being as bad as a fucking snitch. Why? Because you're taking from others that are going through the same struggle. And it's like double standards here, because look at, back in the day, like I said, in that county jails, fools were getting snatched up and getting robbed, getting their hands shook, their money took, and everything that they couldn't hold down, they was getting taken from them. And like I told you in the past, and I'll tell you guys today, the ones that had it the worst were the whites and the Paisas. Real talk. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. This shit was off the hook. It was survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? That's why that guy, motherfucking Dirt Bike Mike, Mohawk Mike, or whatever the fuck his name is, Mohawk Matt, that fool, I think he's a little confused upstairs. But anyways, I rambled on a whole lot. This was supposed to be a shorter video, and from the looks of it, it doesn't look like it's going to be any shorter than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to fast forward. We found out who this individual was that was dipping into our dorm. Long story short, it was a Paisa. A couple little Paisas were going in there on their way to chow, because we would be at chow. We were at chow while they were getting released. Our dorms were empty. They were going in there having a field day, taking people's shit. So we found out who it was. And the individual that we let sit behind, the reason why he was able to sit behind, and we wanted him to sit behind, because a couple other individuals tried to low-key smut this dude up, and I saw it different. And my boy was from a neighborhood that I found out later that these two individuals, they gang banged against, and these two individuals that were trying to, wolf on him, were basically trying to get him in a wreck. You know what I mean? And in the county jail, there used to be some fucked up games like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this guy, when we went in there to go take care of business, the guy that supposedly wasn't with the business, he was like the tip of the spear. He was right there with me. He went down, did his thing, started, putting hands on the Paisa. Boom, it set it off. Riot jumped off. I'm getting it with a guy, and then there's a couple of them, and then I noticed the old big boy, I guess he was gassing out, so they were getting the best of him. So I ran over there to his table, and I snatched up a couple little guys. They were little cats. Snatched them up, slammed them and shit. Put the dogs on them, and then the dorm almost seemed like they came after me. You know what I mean? Because I've always had a little size on me, especially when I was younger. I was actually bigger than what I am now. Yes, I know a lot of people would say, "No, you ain't big, OG. You're just a skinny little dude." Like this one guy claims I'm 145 pounds. No, my G, I'm 183 pounds. Coincidentally, when you asked me that question, I had just barely stepped off the scale. I'm 183 pounds. I'm a half a century old and in the best shape of my motherfucking life. My boy. Guaranteed I'm in better shape than you. Show your face, man, or, join my team. Teach me how to become a better me. I already thought that I was being the best version of myself. Well, anyways, people, yeah, so long story short on this, the Riot erupted, and it was a riot that went unnoticed, okay? Because you got to keep in mind, there's not guard towers and like they are in the joint, or there's no officers in the dorm at that time. They used to go by the Revely. Those of you that remember that, they probably still do that shit. That's time to get up, 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, anyways, man, this guy they were getting the best of him. I think he was gassing out. So I went to go save his ass, and he ended up saving me at the end. And the two motherfuckers that were trying to smut him up turned out to be some fucking straight bitches. I hate using that word, but these fools were straight bitches. They got smashed on afterwards. They got smashed out. You know what I'm saying? And they were able to leave Medium South carrying that jacket with them. Everywhere they landed, everywhere they went, more than likely they got the blues. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So this guy proved himself by doing what he did. I know when I was getting down, going at it, backing up at the same time, because the Paisas obviously outnumbered us, because those dorms were filled with nothing but Paisas in there. They had their own dorms. They had it sewed up. So obviously we're outnumbered. So our dorms, it was mixed. We had whites, brothers, others, and then we had us. And like I said, the dorm started coming after us, and boom, I'm trying to get the best of them. And someone came out of nowhere, man. I actually got one of the guys, if you guys are familiar, they used to have hot pots in there so you could get your coffee, your hot water for your coffee and your soups and whatever you're using it for. You know what I mean? I actually got one of them little paisas and threw them up against the thing, because I had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? It was either that or I was gonna get got. Well, I ended up getting got anyways, man. See my nose? One of them paisas busted me across the nose like a fucking baseball bat, boy. Cracked me. Boom. Busted my shit open, laid me out. I was out, and the last person I remember dragging me out of there was that guy that they try to smut up, man. I will always remember that day, my boy. If you out here still and about, because we're about the same age, and if you've seen this, much love and respect to you to the fullest, my boy. I know your barrio, where you come from. I know your plaquiazo. I remember you like if it was yesterday, my G. But out of respect, I won't put you out here. If you ever see this video, reach out to me, my G. That way we can chop it up. You know what I mean? Talk about good old days in the motherfucking wayside. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, if you want to get started on your fitness journey, start becoming that best version of yourself, shoot me that DM, high_power_fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. Don't talk about it, be about it. Now let's do this.